Hi everyone, what's up? All good? Great. Today we will be solving the question insert interval. So let's see what is this question saying. You are given an array of non-overlapping intervals where intervals I is equals to start and end represent the start and end of the ith interval and intervals is sorted in ascending order by start. Okay, so we are given with an intervals array with the start and it is sorted by the start. Okay. You are also given an interval, new interval with start and end that represents the start and end of another interval. Okay. Insert new interval into intervals such that intervals is still sorted in ascending order by start I. We need to insert the new interval into intervals such that it still remains sorted by start I. Okay, and intervals still does not have any overlapping intervals. So we need to insert the new interval in the intervals in such a way that it should not contain the overlapping intervals. If it have, so we need to merge those overlapping intervals. Okay. Now we need to return the final intervals after insertion of the new interval. Okay, great. Note that you don't need to modify intervals in place. You can make a new array and return it. So what we need to do? We don't need to modify our input. We need to create a new vector of vectors for our result. Okay, so let's see how we can do it and what is this question saying. So our first example is this. We are given with an intervals array sorted by start and we need to insert this new interval into intervals. Okay, so let's see how we can do this. What we need to do is we first need to create a new output vector as said in the question that we don't need to we don't need to perform modifications in our input. Okay, great. So now let's see. Can we, should this new interval come before this? So let's say, first of all, we are at here. Okay. So first of all, we need to iterate this intervals and check for every interval whether we can insert this new interval before this, after this, or we need to merge these intervals. Okay. So currently we are at here. Now we need to check whether we need to insert new interval first or we need to insert interval first or we need to merge this. Okay, good. So how we can check? We can simply check if this new interval of 0 is less than this. Yeah, it is less than this. So we cannot insert this or this first. We need to merge this. Okay. So what we will doing here? We will just take the minimum of all both of the zeroth indexes, so it will be 1 and the maximum of this, so it will become 5. Okay, now this is our output vector. Okay, now our work of new interval is finished as we have already inserted it. Now we are at here. Now we need to check whether we need to merge this or not. Yeah, no. See, here 6 is greater than 5, so yeah, it is completely different, so we don't need to merge it. So this will be our final answer. Okay, so this was small example. Let's take second example. Okay, so now we will create an output vector here. Okay, very good. Now we will check. Now we will start iterating in intervals and check if we can insert it. See. So now we are at here. Yeah, good. So can we insert it as it is? Yeah, because 4 is greater than 2. So we can insert it as it is. Now we are at here. Now we will check. Can we insert it as it is? No, because 4 comes between 3 and 5. So now what we will do? We will create a separate vector here, temporary vector with 4 comma 8 initial value. Okay. Now we will check for both these intervals. Till now we will check if we need to merge it or we can simply insert it. We cannot simply insert it here, right? So we need to merge it now. Now we will update it. So what its value become minimum of both of this and maximum. So now our separate this vector becomes 3 comma 8. Now we are at here. Now we again need to check, do we need to merge these two? Yeah, we also need to merge this. So this will become 3 minimum of this and this will become this maximum of 8 comma 7, which is also 8. Cool. Now we are at here. Now we need to again check, can we merge these two? Yeah, we can, because 8 are overlapping. So this will become minimum of both of this, and this will become maximum. So this will become 3 comma 2. Yeah, cool. Now we will again check, do we need to merge these two? No, because 10 is less than 12. So we will simply insert this 3 comma 10 here. Okay. Now our new interval is also inserted, and we have also performed the merge operation on all the required intervals. Now we will simply insert our remaining intervals. Now here we don't need to care that whether it is 17 comma 18, 19 comma 20. We don't need to care. We will just simply insert it if there are any more intervals also present, because they are already inserted order and they will not be overlapping it, because it is our input. Okay, cool. Now, so see what we have done here is we just start iterating on the interval and check whether we can insert this interval as it is or not. If yes, then we will insert it. Now we cannot insert it. So we will perform the merge operation on all the intervals on which it is required. So we have performed the merge operation on all the required intervals. Now the third point is we will simply push all the remaining intervals in our result. So this is a basically three-step question in which first step we will push all those intervals which we can push as it is, and then perform merge operation on all the required intervals, and then again push all the remaining intervals. Simple. Now let's see how we can code it. So see here, first of all we are checking if new interval of 0 is greater than interval of I of 1. It means it is not, we cannot push new interval before these intervals. So we are simply inserting our intervals in our result. Now what the second step? We now in this step we are merging all the required intervals. So we are, so see if new interval of 1 is greater than or equals to interval of I0, whenever this condition is true, till then we need to perform the merge operation, and we are taking minimum and maximum and then simply incrementing our I. Now at the end of this loop, we are simply inserting our final merged interval in our result vector. Cool. Now what we are doing? We are simply inserting all our remaining intervals in our result. Simple. So got it? So this is basically a three-step question in which we first inserted all the intervals, then merged all the intervals, then again inserted all the remaining intervals. Now let's discuss this time and space complexity. As you can see, we are just iterating our intervals array and nothing else. So its time complexity will be big O of n, and its space complexity it will be big O of 1, as we are not using any extra space other than this answer space, because we will not consider this space. So its space complexity will be big O of 1. Good. So it was very easy for thinking as well, because question we are just given with intervals array, and we can need to insert our new interval anywhere, just like in the starting overlapping, middle overlapping, overlapping with more than one intervals at the end, overlapping end. So we can need to insert the new interval anywhere. So we have just simplified it. Like what? Start inserting the interval stay when we can insert it. Second step, need to merge all the intervals stay when we need to merge it. Like here, we need to merge these two. And then again insert all the remaining intervals. Right? Simple. So this was a very intuitive question. Like you just need to write the code and nothing else, because there is no different logic in this question. You just need to iterate and then merge the intervals. So yeah, this was all for this question. I hope you get it. If you still have any doubts, you can post in the comment section. I will surely try to answer them. Till then, bye bye guys. See you soon in the next video.